Welcome back to my channel. Coin Spot today is best top 2 coins 1. You want to miss we're diving into the world of United States coins? Please don't skip this video, so let's get it started. Top 1, the Australian 2004 Elizabeth II 20-cent coin. This exploration will include historical context, design features, production details, variations, collector value, and its place in Australian numismatics. Please note that this is a long form, in-depth discussion, introduction, and historical context. The Australian 20-cent coin, featuring Queen Elizabeth II and dated 2004, is part of the decimal coinage system introduced in 1966 when Australia transitioned from the pre-decimal system, pounds, shillings, and pence, to a decimal system, dollars and cents. The decimalisation marked a significant moment in Australian monetary history, and coins from this system have continued to evolve, both in design and production techniques. Over the decades, the 20-cent denomination has historically been one of the most iconic Australian coins, primarily due to its unique design and significant presence in everyday transactions. Issued regularly since 1966, it has maintained a consistent size, weight, and metallic composition, although there have been slight changes in minting practices and effigies used on the obverse over the years. The 2004 issue is particularly noteworthy because it features a relatively modern portrait of Queen Elizabeth II. It was produced during a time of transition in minting technology and collector interest. Design details: obverse, front design, verse. Obverse of the 2004 20-cent coin features the fourth official portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, which was designed by British sculptor Ian Rank-Broadley. This portrait was introduced to Australian coinage in 1999 and remained in use until 2019. It is a more mature and realistic representation of the Queen, characterized by its attention to detail and unidealized features. Rank-Broadley aimed for a dignified yet approachable image, avoiding the more stylized and youthful representations of earlier effigies. In the 2004 version, Queen Elizabeth II is depicted facing to the right, wearing the Girls of Great Britain and Ireland tiara, one of her most iconic pieces of jewelry. The inscription encircling the effigy reads, "Elizabeth to Australia 2004. This straightforward legend indicates the monarch's name, the country of issue Australia, and the year of minting 2003. Reverse back design: the reverse of the coin features the iconic platypus design created by Australian sculptor Stuart Devlin. Devlin, who served as the official goldsmith and jeweler to the Queen, was responsible for designing all of the reverse sides of Australia's original decimal coins introduced in 1966. His design of the platypus swimming in water for the 20-cent piece has remained unchanged for decades due to its popularity and strong symbolic resonance. The image shows the platypus gliding gracefully through water, creating a series of stylized ripples and currents that give the coin a sense of motion and natural beauty. This design captures one of Australia's most distinctive and enigmatic native animals, the platypus, a semi-aquatic mammal found in eastern Australia and Tasmania. Known for its duck-like bill and webbed feet, the platypus has become a symbol of Australia's unique wildlife. Beneath the design is the denomination 20, with no accompanying unit as the cent is understood. The SD initials of Stuart Devlin can also be found subtly incorporated into the ripples near the base of the design. Metal composition and physical characteristics. Its 2003 Australian 20-cent coin is a copper-nickel coin, composed of 75% copper and 25% nickel. This alloy is known for its durability, resistance to corrosion, and ability to retain a relatively shiny finish over time. These characteristics make it well-suited for circulation coins that undergo frequent handling. The specifications of the coin are as follows: diameter 28.52 millimeters, weight 11.30 grams, thickness approximately 2.5 millimeters. Milled reeded. These dimensions have remained largely consistent since the coin's introduction in 1966, and they are shared across most years of issue unless otherwise noted for special releases. Minting. Mintage numbers: the 220-cent coin was minted by the Royal Australian Mint RAM, which is the primary mint responsible for producing the country's circulating coinage. Based in Canberra, the Royal Australian Mint has long been known for its innovation and technical proficiency in terms of production volume. Approximately 69.1 million standard 20-cent coins were struck in 2004 for general circulation. This mintage number is relatively high, placing the 2003 issue among the more common 20-cent coins in circulation. As such, it is not particularly rare, and in circulated condition, it is generally worth face value. However, coins in uncirculated or mint condition, especially those in special collector sets, can command a modest premium among numismatists' proof and mint sets, in addition to the general circulation coins. The Royal Australian Mint also produced high-quality collector versions of the 2004 20-cent coin. These were included in the annual proof and mint sets sold directly to collectors. These coins are struck using specially prepared dies and polished blanks to produce a mirror-like finish and sharp detail. The 2014 proof set included the 20-cent coin along with the other standard circulating denominations 5C, 10C, 50C, $1, and $2. These sets were issued in limited quantities and are highly sought after by collectors who value both their aesthetic appeal and their limited productions. Similarly, the mint set, also called the uncirculated set, included regular, uncirculated versions of each denomination and was packaged for presentation and long-term storage. These coins are struck with slightly higher quality control than standard circulation coins and are usually free from bag marks and other imperfections. Common in general, coinage varieties and errors. The 2003 20-cent coin does not have widely known or intentional varieties like some other years, such as the 1966 wavy baseline Y_ variety. But as with all coins, there are always possibilities of minor mint errors that can attract collector interest. These can include off-center strikes, clipped planchettes, or a portion of the metal blank is missing die cracks or cuds, raised areas due to die damage. Double strikes, weak strikes, or filled dice. Collectors who specialize in error coins sometimes seek out these anomalies, and depending on their rarity and severity, such errors can increase the value of a coin considerably. Circulation and usage in 2004. The 20-cent coin continued to serve as an important component of Australia's coin-based currency system, used for a variety of everyday purchases, from parking meters to vending machines. Its size and value made it convenient and widely accepted. The coin's larger size, however, has made it slightly less popular than smaller denominations for personal carrying purposes, while still circulating widely today. 20-cent coins from earlier years like 2004 are gradually being phased out due to wear and tear. Nonetheless, the coin remains legal tender, and 2004 dated pieces are still frequently encountered in pocket change, especially in good to fair condition. Cultural and collectible significance. The 2004 20-cent coin holds modest cultural and collectible significance. While it may not be as historically notable as coins from commemorative years or those featuring limited designs, it still represents a key piece of Australia's circulating currency during the early 21st century. For collectors, especially those assembling year sets or studying the progression of Queen Elizabeth II's effigies on coinage, the 2004 coin is a necessary inclusion. It also forms part of the broader narrative of Australian numismatics, which reflects the country's evolving national identity, technological progress in minting, and the enduring constitutional monarchy under which the Queen remained. Australia's head of state valuation and market interest. As of the most recent evaluations, the 2003 20-cent coin holds the following approximate values depending on condition circulated. Condition: face value 20 cents uncirculated, AUD $1 3 mint set coin, AUD $2 5 proof set coin, AUD $5 $10, or more depending on packaging and completeness. Error coins varies significantly based on type and severity. Common errors might fetch OD $10, $100 or more. Collectors may also seek out coins with exceptional eye appeal, such as those with strong luster, minimal contact marks, or full strike details. Such specimens, even if common in mintage, can command premiums. Conclusion: the 2003 Australian 20-cent coin bearing the effigy of Queen Elizabeth II is a representative example of modern Australian currency. It combines the technical precision of late 20th century minting with enduring design, elements that harken back to the original decimal coins of 1966, though not rare. The coin carries significance in its consistency and in its role within Australia's monetary and cultural landscape is a circulating coin. It reflects daily economic life in Australia during the early 2000s, while its inclusion in mint and proof sets ensures its presence in the collections of numismatists worldwide. Whether studied for its design, collected as part of a set, or used as a humble medium of exchange, the 2004 20-cent coin continues to hold relevance and interest over 2 decades after its issue. Top to the Australian 20-cent coin dated 1981, bearing the effigy of Queen Elizabeth II. This coin, while seemingly ordinary to the casual observer, carries layers of historical significance, numismatic interest, and fascinating details in both design and production. Over the course of this extensive exploration, we will examine the historical context, design elements, technical specifications, production variations, minting anomalies, collector appeal, and its broader role in Australia's coinage, history historical, and economic context of 1981. The year 1981 was a time of notable transition and development for both Australia and its currency system. Australia had been using decimal coinage for 15 years, having switched from the British-influenced pounds, shillings, and pence system in 1966 to a simplified dollar and cent system. By 1981, Australians were fully accustomed to this monetary structure, and the 20-cent coin had become an integral part of daily commerce economically. Australia in 1981 was navigating global pressures such as inflation, shocks, and evolving trade relations. The nation was also expanding its infrastructure, industry, and public services, which made small denominations like the 20-cent coin extremely important in transactions like public transport, tolls, vending machines, and general retail. It was during this time that Australia faced increasing demand for coinage due to population growth, inflationary pressures, and economic activity. These factors all contributed to one of the most fascinating aspects of the 1981 20-cent coin: the fact that it was produced at multiple mints, both domestically and internationally. The obverse design, the Queen's portrait. The obverse side of the 1981 Australian 20-cent coin is the portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, facing right. This version of the Queen's effigy was designed by Arnold Machen, an accomplished British sculptor and designer known for his elegant and youthful portrayal of Her Majesty. This effigy was first introduced on Australian coinage in 1966, continued in use until 1984. It shows the Queen wearing the Girls of Great Britain and Ireland tiara. One of her signature royal adornments surrounding the portrait is the Elisade PTH2 Australia 1981. This clearly denotes the monarch's name, the issuing country, and the year of minting. Machen's effigy was praised for its classical beauty and calm dignity, and it marked a stylistic departure from the more rigid portrayals of earlier eras. Although subtle, this portrait carries symbolic weight. It ties Australia to the broader Commonwealth, while also representing a period of stability and continuity under the Queen's reign. Reverse design. Stuart Devlin's platypus, the reverse of the coin, features a stunning and dynamic depiction of the platypus Ornithorhynchus anatinus, a unique and iconic Australian marsupial. This design was created by Stuart Devlin, a renowned Australian goldsmith and coin designer, who was instrumental in shaping the visual identity of the nation's new decimal coinage beginning in the 1960s. His reverse designs remain unchanged to this day. Due to their enduring appeal, the platypus on the 20-cent coin is shown in mid-swim, with stylized water ripples encircling its body. The image gives a sense of movement, almost as if the platypus is gliding effortlessly through water. This artistic portrayal combines naturalism with abstraction. It's not just an animal portrait, but a celebration of Australian biodiversity and a subtle assertion of national identity beneath the platypus. In large numerals is the denomination 20. To the trained eye, the initials SD for Stuart Devlin can be found subtly incorporated into the design, usually near the edge of the ripple lines. The design is practical yet elegant, striking a balance between utility and art, one of The reasons it has remained unchanged since its inception technical specifications, the 1981 20-cent coin retained the same physical characteristics as earlier issues composition. Copper nickel 75% copper, 25% nickel diameter, 28.52 millimeters weight, 11.31 grams, edge, milled reeded. Thickness, approximately 2.5 millimeters. The use of copper nickel provides excellent resistance to wear and corrosion, essential for a coin intended for widespread circulation over many years. These coins were engineered to last decades in public use, and many examples from 1981 remain in active circulation today, albeit often with signs of wear. Production and minting locations. One of the most interesting and historically significant aspects of the 1981 Australian 20-cent coin is that it was produced at 3 different mints. 1. Royal Australian Mint, RAM, Canberra. Australia Royal Canadian Mint, RCM, Ottawa. Canada Royal Mint, Lantrezant, Wales. United Kingdom. Due to increased demand for coinage in Australia during this period, the Royal Australian Mint sought assistance from other Commonwealth mints. This was not uncommon. Australia had a long-standing relationship with mints in the UK and Canada. The involvement of 3 mints led to minor but noticeable differences in the coins, often referred to by collectors as mint varieties, identifying mint varieties. All 1981 20-cent coins bear the same design, but minor differences exist in the characteristics of coins produced at different mints. These include font shapes and spacing, position and shape of the SD, initials, rim width and edge milling, depth, detail, sharpness in the platypus and queen's effigy. Of these, the Canadian minted coins are often the easiest to distinguish due to a few characteristics: slightly different font used in the date, higher relief, more pronounced design features, sometimes referred to as flat platypus coins due to how the platypus appears compared to RAM strikes. While the UK strikes are generally consistent with RAM standards, they may have slightly more polished fields and minor die polishing differences. For the dedicated numismatist, identifying the mint of origin can be an exciting challenge requiring a magnifying glass, a good reference catalog, and a trained eye. Mintage numbers and rarity. The total mintage of 1981 20-cent coins is estimated at approximately 105 million coins across all 3 mints. Royal Australian Mint, approx. 81 million. Royal Canadian Mint, approx. 17 million. Royal Mint UK, approx. 7 million. These figures make the 1981 issue one of the highest mintage years for the denomination. As a result, circulated coins are very common and can be found easily in everyday change. However, due to the multiple mint origins, collectors have grown increasingly interested in assembling sets of all 3 types. Over time, Canadian and UK mint coins have become more collectible, especially in high-grade condition mint set and proof coins. In 1981, the Royal Australian Mint also issued its traditional uncirculated mint set and proof set, which included pristine versions of the circulating coins, including the 20-cent coin. These sets were aimed at collectors and were not meant for circulation. The coins in these sets were struck with specially prepared dies, resulting in sharper details, and in the case of proof coins, mirror-like finishes. These collector sets have been popular over the decades and are often the best source for acquiring high-grade 1981 coins. Proof coins from 1981 remain attractive for their quality and preservation, and many retain their original brilliance to this day if properly stored. Are coins and notable variants, as with most high mintage coins. The 1981 20-cent piece is known to have produced a number of error coins. These include clipped planchets, where a piece of the coin is missing; off-center strikes, die crack scuds, where a piece of the die breaks off, creating a raised blob on the coin; weak strikes or filled dies. One of the most collectible anomalies for 1981 is the so-called Canadian flat platypus variety. While not an error in the traditional sense, the coin's appearance, due to different die preparation or striking pressure at the Royal Canadian Mint, results in a flattened or softer-looking platypus. Some collectors treat this as a subtype or variant and seek to complete full trio sets of RAM, RCM, and UK coins. Collectability and market values due to its high mintage and ongoing circulation. The 1981 20-cent coin is generally not rare. In used condition, an average circulated condition, it holds a value of 20 cents. However, there are caveats, and circulated mint state examples can fetch between odd $1 to $3 depending on quality. Proof coins from official sets can range from odd $5 to $15. Mint sets with the full array of denominations may fetch odd $20 to $40. Error coins or rare variants, especially uncirculated Canadian or UK strikes, can range from a UD $10 to $100 or more, depending on condition and demand. As numismatics gains popularity in Australia, coins like the 1981 20-cent, with multiple mint origins, have seen renewed interest among both beginner and advanced collectors. Full sets of 3 mint marks and uncirculated grade are particularly desirable, symbolic, and cultural value beyond its physical attributes. The 1981 20-cent coin represents a piece of living history. It links modern Australians to their past, a time of transition, global connections, and economic development. The platypus design itself is emblematic of Australia's efforts to assert its unique cultural identity through its fauna. Moreover, Queen Elizabeth II's presence on the coin reflects Australia's enduring, albeit evolving, ties to the British monarchy and the Commonwealth. Thanks for watching my videos. Please subscribe my channel for more videos.